I was one of those who was responsible for signing off on arms transfers around the world. I had long found it to be the case within the State Department and across the US government that there was a double standard, that you could raise concerns and even to some extent work to address those concerns when they came to the US defense relationship with any other country. But with Israel, the conversation would be cut off, particularly at the political levels within the State Department. Right. That people didn't want to have the conversation, and for that reason were willing to, in some cases, bypass American laws, certainly not apply the same standards to Israel that were applied globally. So this was, I guess, an issue I'd been struggling with for some time, even prior to October of 2023. What happened in October of 23 was, first of all, after Hamas's attack on October 7th, I think everyone was shocked, but my immediate reaction after that, as soon as October 8th, was to send around an email to colleagues both in my bureau, which is called Political Military Affairs, but also in the part of the State Department responsible for the Middle East and the Human Rights Bureau and some others, to say, this is not a moment to rush, this is a moment to pause. And I said that for two reasons. The first is that, look, if for decades our policy has been that we are going to provide Israel with arms and with the financing for those arms in order to provide it with security, that policy has failed. So before we start throwing billions more dollars at this, we should ask why that policy has failed. And secondly, that we know what is coming. We have seen repeated conflicts between Israel and Gaza in which thousands of civilians have been killed. We have every reason to think this will be far worse. So let us think about how the law applies here. Let us think about what the right answer is before we start providing weapons into a situation where we know that they are going to be used to kill civilians. The bombs began to fall, and at the same time, the requests began to come in from Israel for more and more weapons. And this was a different process than the process that I'd ever been part of in the State Department. Normally it is a bottom-up process. A country comes in and requests weapons, and you look at it through various policy lenses, and eventually the decision, with sometimes caveats, filters up to the senior policy levels, and then eventually they say okay or no. In this instance, we were getting direction from the senior levels of government, from the White House, from the Secretary's office, to say, you will approve every request that comes in, and you will do so within the next few hours. So the process was flipped on its head, and so what led to my resignation was this unwillingness to even discuss the harms that we were doing and whether there was another way forward, combined with the massive scale and scope of the harm that was being done, and finally combined with what I felt had been a long track record of both a double standard and a failed policy.